Hi everyone, it's me, Sailor Moon, Serena, and it's me, Sailor Jupiter, Sailor King Rolita here. And today we're going to talk about, yeah, the badly made doll stands that Irwin Toy made. And I know we talked about this before. Well, we need to talk about this again, one more time, because you just have no belief how bad these doll stands are. So, you have dolls that were, we'll say, made between the years of between 95 YL to 2001 YL, and it didn't care if it was Irwin or Bandai. They just didn't know how to make the stands right. They knew how to make the dolls right, but not the stands. So you would get, and say in my world, you wore three kinds of footwear. You wore boots or shoes or high heel shoes. And if you were wearing boots, then the stands would work, but not all of them. Because you could have Ruvius, whose boots were so big they couldn't even fit in the stand that came with them. And you could have, I don't know, high heel shoes worn by half of the other sailor fighters, wearing other half of the inners and outer sailor fighters wearing high heel shoes. For everyone from Amara, from Michelle, to Mina, to Lita, to Ray. And the only ones wearing boots would have been Amy and Trista and Rini and myself. Everyone else wore some kind of shoes, you know. Well, even Wicked Lady, she wore high heel shoes too. And Queen Beryl does kind of wear some kind of high heel shoes like too, but at least hers will fit and the doll stand if you're willing to pull her clothes up a little. But everyone else, like Aldeling Diamond or Hiller Tomo or other ones would wear shoes. Tuxedo Max, Darien wears shoes and they wouldn't fit well or just fall over, or you had to fight to get them in, and it wasn't even fun. And yes, even Emerald shoes were made the same way. Carrie Knight also wore the same kind of shoes as well, so it was sad. Now you would ask yourself and say, well, why did Irwin Toy and Bandai not know how made such a bad work making doll stands? And the answer is, I don't know. I could give you some guesses. And some folks will say, oh, because they were made over in Dawnland, you know how those folks don't take time making things right. Well, to be fair, there are folks that make things in a 4-1 rights and don't take their time either. I don't truly believe that was the grounds for it. Whatever, they just didn't know how to make them. It was like the team that was making the dolls was not talking with the team that were making the stands. It's like, hey, we're making these dolls that got boots, but we're making dolls that got high heel shoes and shoes. So I think you're going to have to make the doll stands, meet the, be able to, to skilled enough to hold the doll wearing shoes or high heel shoes up. And I don't think there was any talking between those teams. So what you got was, all they heard, and I guess was all they said, we just make stands. Boom, boom, that's it. I don't even think they even looked to see if the stands would fit the dolls that they made it for. And so you'd go and buy it, I guess, back in the day at Hills or Kmart or Toys R Us or KB Toys or Ames when Hills became Ames or whatever, or Walmart, whatever. Or you even buy them now from Etsy and eBay and whatever. And you're still running to that same bind with the shoes and the boots and high heel shoes not working well in the stands. You got something to say about that? You're right, Serena. You're right, Sailor Moon. The doll stands made by Irwin Toy and Bandai between the years of between 95 YL to 2001 YL were badly made. And even if it was a mistake that was made by one side or the other, where's the forgiveness at it? It's not like that they didn't know that they were, it wasn't like they didn't know they were making the doll. It wasn't like they they didn't know that half of the folks in your world either wore boots, shoes, high heel shoes, or whatever. And it isn't like they didn't know that they needed to make stands to fit them. For whatever grounds, they just made the stands so shitty. I mean, you're wearing the high heel shoes like I wear. Oh, I'll bend over or I'll fall over. If you're wearing shoes, then it'll be hard to get those feet into the stands. And God forbid if you ever want to fight to get into it, you might break the foot leg off. And that seems to be it. The stands only seem to work well with dolls who wear boots, but not all boots are the same. Ruvius's boots are bigger than, which say, the boots of Sailor Moon, Serena, or bigger than Sailor Mini-Moon, Small Moon Rini's boots, or bigger than Sailor Mercury, Sailor Quicksilver, Amy's boots, or Sailor Pluto, Sailor Underworld, Trista's boots. So, yeah. And you might ask yourself, well, what would one have to do? Buy yourself doll stands and put those dolls in it, because that is the only way that you can hold them up. Now, yeah, you are going to watch films on Euro of folks showing all their Sailor Moon dolls and all their Irwin doll stands. Well, I don't know how they got them to stand so well, or how they got them to get into those stands in the first stead. But my guess was they most likely I don't know how they did it, but somehow they did. Somehow they got them to be on the book stand, or whatever they were putting them at, or in a hidden room, or whatever, or up against the wall, or whatever they did, because they knew how badly the doll stands were. And you knowing them, they never take their dolls out to play with them or anything, so yeah. But I don't know why they were like that. Yeah, tell you the truth, Lita, Sailor Jupiter, Sailor King World, I do not know why the Irwin doll stands that were made by Irwin Toy between 95 while the 2001 while, or Bandai between 95 while the 2001 while, were so badly made. I have heard the word on the street is, if there's any truth to it, is that Mattel is hoping to barker a deal, or make a deal with Toei to start making new Sailor Moon dolls for North Finland, for the 4-1 Reichs and the Settled Land. If that is true, then we will soon have Sailor Moon dolls again. But anyway, that's all the time I got for that's another film for another day, if there's any truth to it. I, Sailor Moon Serena, I, Sailor Jupiter, Sailor King Road Lita, and we'll see you later.